This is the upcoming Adidas AdiFOM Q, one of the most interesting Adidas sneakers to drop in a long time, but also a shoe that is sure to piss off one of their most important collaborators. What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler, and today we're going to find out whether the Adidas AdiFOM Q lives up to the hype. So I'm not gonna lie, I've been heavily anticipating this sneaker ever since leaked images of this shoe first dropped online, and we all thought it was the Foam Runner 2.0. And I've gotta say, in the short amount of time that I've had this sneaker, it doesn't disappoint. But this shoe's story is interesting for a lot of reasons, not just that it looks good and that it feels good on foot, but also because this shoe is pretty obviously inspired by another one of Adidas' silhouettes. But before we dive into that, let's first talk about how you can get your hands on a pair of the upcoming Adidas AdiFOM Qs. So as of right now, in the beginning of September 2022, weirdly enough, the official release date for this shoe has not yet been disclosed by Adidas. It is thought that this shoe might drop on September 2nd or September 3rd. However, those dates have not been confirmed by the brand, and all I've seen from other retailers is that this shoe is supposed to drop in the next couple weeks. So unfortunately, as of right now, I just don't have a solid answer for the exact release date of this shoe. However, you can grab pairs of these right now on GOAT, and I've made sure to leave an affiliate link to GOAT in the top of the description below. The one thing that's seemingly been confirmed about this shoe though is the price point, and that price point is 120 bucks. Also, before we get into the sneakers, let's first take a look at the box, which honestly is your standard Adidas box. It comes in blue with the Adidas branding, and then on the end of the box you do have the size tag and the official name of the shoe, which is AdiFOM Q, spelled AdiFOM Q, which has been bothering me for the last couple months since we knew the name of the shoe. Just like put an A in there. That's all. That's all you need. And the official colorway of this shoe is off-white aluminum. But now let's talk about the AdiFOM Q, one of the most interesting shoes that Adidas has put out in a long time. So as I'm sure you've noticed, this shoe bears a striking resemblance to Kanye West's YEEZY Foam Runner. I mean, obviously they're not exactly the same, but there are a lot of similarities, the largest of which is that they're both foam shoes. And if you've been following the Kanye West and Adidas drama recently, you know that Kanye has been kind of ticked off at Adidas because he thinks that they stole his idea for the Yeezy slide. I'm not really going to go into detail on that topic because I've already made a whole video on it, which you can check out by clicking the link at the top of the screen. But I will say that although some people thought that there was only a passing resemblance between the Yeezy slides and the Adidas Adilet 22s, the resemblance between the YEEZY Foam Runner and the AdiFOM Q is much more apparent. I mean, you can't tell me that this shoe wasn't inspired by this shoe. There's no way. But as of right now, Kanye West has not yet commented on the AdiFOM Qs being similar to his shoe. However, Adidas seems to think that he's going to because they released this image. So what Adidas is saying is that the AdiFOM Q was inspired by, and apparently only inspired by, the Adidas Quake, which makes a lot of sense for the naming of this shoe, the AdiFOM Q, presumably meaning AdiFOAM Quake. And yes, the cutouts of this shoe and the sculpting of this shoe was definitely inspired by the Quakes, but it was also inspired by the Foam Runners, and you can't convince me otherwise. But hey, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the AdiFOM Q and whether it's a good shoe overall. And like I said at the beginning of the video, not to ruin the review for you guys, but I do really like this shoe and I think it's a great shoe overall. But now let's get into the materials that make up the AdiFOM Q. So the AdiFOM Q is essentially made up of three different parts. You've got the exterior or exoskeleton, you've got the knit bootie, and then you've also got this heavily cushioned, essentially drop-in midsole. So this heavily sculpted exoskeleton, the part that most closely resembles the Foam Runners, is actually made up of EVA foam. And what's interesting about this design is that not only does this exoskeleton feature a lot of different ridges and cutouts and things like that, but it also features a bunch of different textures that you don't really see unless you're looking at the shoe close up. So the outer surface of the foam is very lightly textured. However, when you get to the sort of interiors of the swoops and the curves, you do have this really interesting sort of linear texture that is a lot deeper, and in my opinion it gives the shoe a lot more dimension. It really separates the different surfaces of the shoe, and I really love the way it plays with shadows. It makes these ridge surfaces feel a lot more matte, and then you've got these sort of soft shadows on these areas, and then on these smoother surfaces it looks a little bit more glossy, and then the shadows are a little bit sharper. It's a very, very interesting look, and I really love it. Also, you gotta admit that this shoe looks a lot like a dinosaur skull. It looks like it came right out of Jurassic Park. I mean, especially in this off-white colorway. The black one not as much, but this one, I mean, it looks like a bone. While the sides of this shoe are very interesting because of the Quake-inspired cutouts, my favorite part of the shoe is actually the toe, and that's mainly because of the way that it's sculpted. It kind of looks like a dragon nose. It's nuts. And that's something I really love about this new foam shoe trend. You're really able to experiment with surfacing and shapes and with textures, stuff you can't do on leather or other soft fabric materials. I mean, look at the Salehi Bembury Crocs, for example. This shoe looks absolutely insane, and this form would only be able to be achieved through foam. Now, as far as the actual feel of the foam, it's a lot more stiff than I would have expected. It's still flexible, like you can still bend it and move it around, and it's not uncomfortable on foot, but it's a lot stiffer than the foam runners and even a pair of Crocs. Then moving up in the shoe, you get to one of the details that really separates it from any of the other foam shoes on the market, and that's the laces. Most foam shoes don't come with laces. So these laces actually serve a dual purpose. One, they tighten the shoe around your foot, and two, they connect the foam exoskeleton of the shoe to the knit bootie. Now what's interesting about these laces is that if you take them out, you can actually separate the different parts of the shoe from each other. Kind of like this. It's pretty crazy. They're similar. They're definitely similar, especially like this. So while we've got the different parts of the shoe separated, why don't we talk about the bootie interior of the shoe? So according to Adidas, this knit material is actually prime knit, a material that Adidas uses on a lot of other sneakers. It's very soft and surprisingly breathable, and when paired with the exoskeleton of the shoe, you still have a lot of holes which still allow it to breathe, even though this foam is definitely a warmer material. Sewn to the top of the prime knit, you do have what is essentially a tongue that comes in this sort of neoprene material with some nice padding and of course the Adidas logo on the lateral side. And then around the top of the ankle opening, you've got this raw prime knit edge, and then on the heel of the shoe, you've got a little bit more padding around the back of the ankle. I love the way this shoe comes together. You've got the hard foam exoskeleton and the soft knit interior. The knit provides a really nice place for your foot to rest against. It's soft, it's breathable, it's stretchy, and then the exoskeleton provides that structure that you need and that heel support. It's a really cool system. Moving inside the sneaker, you've got an orange insole that has the Adidas logo and then says, made with Parley Ocean Plastics and Plastic Waste, the brand with 3 stripes. Plus, I gotta mention that this shoe looks incredible with our upcoming Apothecary Amber Vittoria collaboration socks. If you didn't already know, which I'm sure you do if you watch my videos, but Apothecary is a sock brand that I co-founded, and this Friday we're dropping our brand new collaboration with Amber Vittoria, and in my opinion, it's one of the best collabs we've ever dropped. If you guys want to grab any of the socks from this collection, they're dropping this Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on apothecary.com. But now let's get to sizing and fit, and I've got to say, I had no idea what to expect with this shoe. I didn't know if it was going to fit huge because it looks like a pretty large shoe, or whether it was going to fit really small because there's like 5 different parts of this shoe. I had no idea, but I'm really happy to report that this shoe does seem to fit true to size, which is not always the case with Adidas sneakers. Not only that, it's also very comfortable on foot, and that comfort is most likely due to this crazy soft Adi Plus cushioning underfoot. So on this colorway, the Adi Plus cushioning comes in bright orange and is sewn to the knit upper of the shoe, and it's a very soft cushion underfoot. Plus, you get a lot of it underfoot too, which makes it even better. Genuinely, I was blown away by how comfortable the AdiFOAM Q is. It just feels great. Then moving back on the shoe towards the heel, you get to another one of my favorite parts of the shoe, and that of course is due to the sculpting of the foam. Just like in the front of the shoe, I love the way that the back of the shoe looks. I mean, it just looks wavy. Like literally it looks like waves, but also this is a pretty wavy shoe. Embossed into the top part of the heel, you've got the Adidas Trefoil logo, and debossed into the bottom part of the heel, you've got the Adi Plus logo. And then finally moving to the bottom of the sneaker, you've got these sort of tan colored rubber traction pods on the forefoot and on the heel. I also love the way the bottom of the shoe is sculpted. It ties in with the rest of the shoe so well. You've got some sort of YEEZY 500 vibes on the outsole traction pads, and then rounding off the outsole of the shoe towards the heel, you've got this cutout through to the Adi Plus. Overall, I love the Adidas AdiFOAM Q. I think it's an incredible looking sneaker. I love the way the shoe feels on foot. However, this shoe was absolutely inspired by the YEEZY Foam Runner, and it kind of sucks that Adidas isn't really giving Kanye credit where credit is due. And maybe this is just a conspiracy theory, but the drama surrounding this shoe, in my opinion, is absolutely adding to the hype of this sneaker, and it seems like something that Adidas isn't mad at. But hey, I would love to know your thoughts on the Adidas AdiFOAM Qs and whether you're planning to grab a pair of these shoes when they finally release, so make sure to let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.